Oh my God, this is my first live on YouTube. I'm so excited. I don't know if I should wait for people to jump on or if I should just assume no one's gonna jump on. Like, I don't care. I don't know. I'm just here to celebrate, celebrate, celebrate my wins. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate my wins. That's what life's about, right? Like, are you like most of us, like me, the old me, I should say. I'm not like that anymore. But if you're just focusing on the 1 out of 100 good compliments, the one negative compliment or the negative comment, you're like, oh, why does that person not get me? Or why do they not like me or understand me? And I don't know about you, but I used to always just hold my value and worth on how other people interpreted me or saw me. And I gotta tell you, that is not the place to be living, folks. Like, doing a disservice to your purpose and your authenticity and your unique, beautiful greatness. I mean, you have the power, you have the purpose, you are here, you chose to be here, actually, like crazy. Okay, that's another conversation, but you chose to be here and you were like, yes, at this, I signed up and you signed a contract that said, yes, I want to go through this life pattern in this moment to endure this stuff. You chose your parents, which is kind of cool. Like, my children go to a Waldorf school, and early on in their education, we would be invited to come in as parents, and the teacher would tell such a beautiful story about how this soul traveled all over the place and found these parents and chose us to be there. And it was just always such a touching story. And I would, of course, cry, because I could cry at McDonald's commercials and Kodak commercials, like, forget it. My husband would say always, you're a director's wet dream. Of course, he's a director, so what does that say? So anyhow, I'm here because I want to share with you guys, like today I was at an event that I was helping to run, and it's this amazing woman, Tiffany, with Tiffany Grunwald, and she is a plastic surgeon, and she helps to reconstruct women's breasts after mastectomies and surgeries for cancer. And it's a beautiful, beautiful charity work that she does every year, and it's a triathlon in Malibu, as you can see. Like, yeah, look at this. Isn't this an amazing logo? It's so beautiful. And she told a story today about a woman who did the triathlon in like a beach cruiser. I mean, it did have 3 gears, but it was still a beach cruiser. And unfortunately, this woman is no longer with us. And that reminds me just how often we are struck with grief and loss. And I've had so many people in my life that have passed away that I personally know, and also from extensions of people that I know who are close to me, their relatives, their best friends, their spouses, their siblings. And it doesn't matter where or how the grief or the loss comes. It could be a pet. It really hits us all differently. And I realized just how much essential oils can really play a part in helping to support the process and the journey. And everyone has their own journey, and there's no right or wrong way to do it. And so what I did was I curated this really cute travel kit. I mean, come on, guys. And it's my grief kit that I'm offering, and it has an oil for trauma, depression, anxiety, worry, hope, energy, calming, and deep sleep, because those are usually the things that I have noticed talking to a lot of members, my family, and also myself, what I went through when I lost my father in January of this year. I realized that these are the most common things we struggle and need support with to get us throughout the day. You could have one great day, and then in 1 minute, something as joyful as people playing or watching something happen could just spark a lot of that grief and horrible emptiness that you feel inside. And I thought it was also really important to support if you were to get, because I'm offering these now, guys. These are like I'm introducing these, like these, my little grief kits. They go anywhere with you, and these are great gifts. These are great support gifts. You could, if you're going to do like a wellness basket, like this is a great little thing to throw in there and say, hey, listen, I got you. And it's great for mind, body, and spiritual healing and support. Anyways, so this is, and I'm sorry that it's in reverse mirror image. Maybe you're seeing it right, but I don't think you are. It says honoring the journey. And this is a great guide that I also carefully curated with, things that you need to know to get you started. The importance of essential oils, the 101s, how to handle them, how to store them, how to diffuse them, and things of that sort. These already come mixed with a carrier oil, so they're already diluted, and you can put on this, and it actually will come with this cute little bracelet as well, and it comes together as a kit, all these three things. And you put it on this little cute lava rock, you roll it on there, and not only will you be able to smell it because some residual stays on there, but it'll also go on your skin. And if you know that skin is your biggest organ, and it also absorbs anything and everything you put on it, which is why it's so important to be careful of what you're putting on your skin. But essential oils, that the ones that I use from Young Living, no toxins. I use only 100% grade organic, 100% organic products to blend with all the oils that I make. And here you go. It tells you what's in the kit, and it gives you the ingredients of each individual oil, and it tells you the beneficial properties that it has for that particular trauma. Like, for instance, helichrysum flower oil is cherished for its rejuvenating and restorative properties. It can help individuals process deep emotional wounds associated with grief and loss. And so you just go through the grief kit, and one of the gold little nuggets that I have included here is how to apply it, and then what energy medicine technique to use to help support releasing and moving that emotion and that energy. And if you know, emotions are really energies in motion, emotion, which is so cool to think about. If you've never thought about it that way, like, right? The first time I heard that, I was like, what? Energy is in motion? Totally makes sense. So when one gets blocked, it causes like the 4 or 5. Backtrack it. And also like a mantra or affirmation that you can say once, or you can repeat over and over in like a kind of meditative mantra state when you're using this, especially when it's really in that moment where you're fetal position on the ground, just feeling so deep and dark into the grief and the pain and the emptiness. But it just goes on and on and on, and there's a couple great inspirational quotes in there to remind you. And underneath each oil, actually, this is not the ingredients, it just gives you a quick little, like a reminder that grief is a personal journey, and there's no right or wrong way to cope with it. Essential oils can be a supportive tool. Allow yourself the time and space to grieve, and be gentle and compassionate with yourself as you navigate through the emotions and challenges of grief and loss. Like, this is such a great companion to go with the little oil packet. Not only do you get to know what each individual oil's benefit properties are, healing properties are, you also get to figure out how to use them to maximize the benefits of the essential oil that you're putting on. And Hopeful is one of my favorite scents. It's just like a bouquet of, I don't know, hope and light and joy. It's a beautiful scent, and I hope that you enjoy it too. Let me know what you think about that one. They're all really great, but that one is one of my favorites. And also at the end, you'll see here a list of the ingredients that actually gives you a quick reference guide to what each roller's ingredients are for the essential oils. And they're all actual oils, 100% grade, therapeutic, you know, sustainable, non-toxic, beautiful young living seed to seal promise. It is one of my favorite essential oils that I trust, that I've been using, because I seen the benefits that it's provided my family and myself, and how quickly, I mean, I got my son off of using the defibrillator when he was a kid, because every time he would get the slightest inclination of a cold, he would start to have breathing issues and start with the croup, that barking like very scary. There was one night, I swear, I thought he was going to stop breathing, and it was the scariest thing. And I just hated seeing him so vulnerable in that ventilator, just sitting there so hopeless, and I felt so hopeless to help him. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I just can't believe that this is how we help our children with this issue. There's got to be a reason why this is happening. Like, how can we do this naturally? And when I discovered essential oils and I was introduced to Young Living, I went on and I actually started using them in a different way, not just diffusing them, like actually using them for cleaning and skincare, lotion, and a lot of fun experiments that don't always go right, but they have been great and fun nonetheless. And one of them was the cough solve that I do, and I love it because I can make it in this cute little like deodorant, tiny little deodorant looking thing that you put on your chest and your back and your spine and bottoms of your feet. Super important when you're sick to put oregano or anything like that on the soles of your feet, because they will get absorbed. And if you know anything about healing or the alternate holistic medicine, you know that there's reflexology points that are connected to your whole entire body. So it's beneficial to put the oils on the sole of your feet, especially when you're not feeling well. So I started doing that, and I noticed that the moment that he even started getting the slightest cold, I would start putting my salve on him. And not only did he not bark and not have to be on the ventilator, which was golden, he didn't even have a cough. Like the next day, sometimes if it was like a bad thing or I caught it too late and I was being, unfortunately too busy or lazy or, whatever happens when you're a parent, it would last like 2 days maybe. But I've noticed, even with myself, I started using it with myself. I used to be such a horrible, horrible cougher. Every time I would get sick, I would end up living on the couch to go to sleep for a month, because that's how long it would take me to get rid of my cough. I wouldn't cough all day. The moment I try to lie down and go to sleep, all of a sudden I am this like coughing connoisseur, like crazy. So I noticed that it started helping me. I don't cough like I used to. I don't even cough hardly at all. Of course, COVID changed that, but and in COVID, like, oh my gosh, there's another conversation there, how the oils really helped my family stay strong and healthy. And, I just can't rave enough about these oils. But you know what? Actually, I was just thinking, if you want to get this oil and you want to buy them now for someone in September, I'm offering this for you, this 8 little rollers. Like, oh my gosh, did you see how cute they were? Like, were you here? You haven't been here. No one's here. No one's in my room, but I don't care. I'm here and I'm practicing, because in the end, like, we all get to practice. Oh, these are actually empty. Funny. But look how cute they are. This one's for anxiety. And it even tells you on here. And then you just roll it. Or it can come in a little dropper, so you can drop them in diffusers. If you have like a car diffuser, or like some jewelry that you open up with a little felt pad. They even have watches and rings that have these cute little felt pads that you can just kind of drop. You can even roll the oils on there too. But if you rather have a dropper, there's that option as well. You can always just say which kind you want when you order them. But there's 8 of these beautiful, all organic, no toxins, GMO free, because it's organic. So it's redundant to say organic and GMO free. Just for those of us who are still learning our way around the wording and how confusing everything can be, right? So confusing, everything out there. And it's gonna even get harder and harder with AI now to figure out the truth from the fiction. So just embrace yourself, and this is when we get to enhance our intuition, so that we get to be standing firm in what's true for us and what works for us and what is good for us and our family. And your intuition is never going to steer you wrong, honey. It's there for a reason. It's your survival. And intuition comes from your aura. It senses. It's like an antenna, and it senses when there's danger way before you can see it or hear it. It just knows. Sometimes you walk in a room, right, and you realize, oh, this is funky in this room. Like, ugh, just get a bad feeling. Sometimes you walk in a room like, oh, I feel like, oh, you meet someone and you're like, oh, I feel like I've known you forever. We must have known each other in a past life. And you might not even agree or believe that there is past lives. You're just saying that because you feel that, right? It's a feeling, and that's your intuition. And that's why it's given to us. It keeps us safe. Back to what I was saying, like if you get your grief kit, it comes with this beautiful, well thought out and lovingly curated guide to help you throughout your journey, and reminding you throughout the way that it's okay to do it your way, to do it at your speed. And that no one should tell you how long it should take for you to get over it, because there is no time. But I also wanted to pair that with this really cute little like retro, I love it, retro. My little retro affirmations guide. Tells you the importance of affirmations, and then it gives you these great affirmations in self-love and acceptance, abundance and prosperity, confidence and empowerment, yada yada. So they're all kind of lumped into categories so that you can easily reference which one you need. And I think sometimes we need to be our cheerleaders. I think that for a long time I kept looking for my cheerleaders to show up, for my fans to be there before I can show up and be my own fan. And I have realized that in order for all of that to happen, I need to believe and be my own fan and believe in myself first. And when I started doing that, I started realizing how easy it is to choose, to choose to let go and have every moment that I'm currently living be a new moment and a new opportunity to start over, to reinvent myself, to get a mulligan. Like, it was so easy before for me to hold a grudge. I think that's one of the things that a lot of people would say about me is that, girl, you can hold a grudge. And I would think like, no, if I could hold a grudge, I'd still be holding that grudge. And I don't, but I guess I do, right? Because that's how they're experiencing me. It's someone who holds a grudge, and someone who is maybe a little intimidating to approach and to have a heart-to-heart or to talk about. And like, as much as the old me would be like, F them, I intimidate them, yeah, because whatever, right? Whatever ugly story you want to make about that is not where life and love lives, in our growth. That's not where it lives, in compassion. It lives in being in the moment of going, thank you for the feedback. Yes, I'm at a level 4 leadership where I get to be 100% responsible. I am 100% responsible for how I generated this. And when you start to think from that level, opportunities just start unfolding in front of you. And not just like the opportunities that are, oh, that's cool. It's the ones you've been wanting, and it's the ones you've been dreaming for, and it's the ones that you get to have because it is what you're giving. Life unfolds for you when you come from a place of generosity, compassion, and love, forgiving, generously giving without expecting anything back, not even acknowledgement. The next time you donate to charity, donate with Anonymous. That'll up your vibration a little. Like all these little things that we can do to up our vibration. We really need to do that right now, guys. We really need to do that right now, because the low vibration, the low energy, the low entities that live there, and I mean not just on the planet Earth, but like the realms that we cannot yet see. They're like, come on, misery loves company. Yo, don't you get so cozy here, drinking and then sleeping the day away? It's so much easier than confronting all the hurt and all the pain and all the drama and all the failure. But that's what they want. That's what it wants. It is such a low vibration that pulls like gravity. It's like a dark hole. It's like a black hole, I should say. It's exactly what a black hole does. It sucks and destroys all the light within you. And it stretches you beyond recognition. Like where I am today is who I was, but I wasn't who I am today for the last 15 years. I haven't been myself for maybe even longer than that. When was the last time I actually was authentic with myself, with what I wanted, with you? Like how many times was I a different person with my colleagues, with my best friend, with my boyfriend, with my coworkers, with my neighbor? Like how many different personalities did I have to feel that I could belong? Who at that point was I anymore? Do you feel like you've lost yourself too because of that? How many of you, with a show of hands or comments, say me if you feel like you've been there? Like that's you. You don't even know who you are anymore. You lost yourself, especially after becoming a mother. Oh boy, that's a whole nother topic. And at the time I wasn't a career gal, so I didn't have a job waiting for me. I didn't want to go back working in the events, catering, or in a restaurant with children. And you know what happens is that I started believing other people's negative opinions of me as my truth and where I held my value. And I lost my worth. And I think I lost my worth in my childhood, because child trauma. Wave, give me a T if you've had trauma in your life that has stopped you, that has made you feel less than, that has made you feel unworthy of life. I remember a couple years ago, it was right after COVID, I was spiraling, folks, and I think a lot of us have spiraled, and maybe you have too, I don't know, but maybe you still are. But I know that there was a time when if I wasn't so chicken, I probably wouldn't be alive right now. And I found myself many times on my knees begging to know why I was here, why my purpose, why I can't seem to change or get better. And it was in that moment, crying by myself in the car after dropping off my kids at school, that a little voice said to me, "It's not about you. It's about the impact that you're meant to have. It's about showing up for them, my children, showing up for my husband, showing up for the women and other children who are going through the same." And it was in that moment that I chose life for myself, because I owed it to myself. And I also owed it to my contract. I signed a contract, and I needed to get over my own victimhood. I realized I was being a victim. Instead of being a hero of my own story, I became the victim of my story. And I'm telling you, there's so much power when you have awareness of your patterns, awareness of your hurts, of your trauma, of your habits, of how you react, and where you stop and where you turn around, where you're limiting yourself. When you have the awareness of all that, you have the power. You've taken back the power in that moment. And every moment and every minute after that is an awareness and a choice that you're making to either be the victim or the hero of your story. To be the excuse. How many more excuses do you need? Time is going by. I have let so much of my life go by with these dreams sitting in the sidelines. Wet, moldy, with grass and mold growing on them, and forgotten. But I reborn. I was so grateful to have found this leadership program that, I up until that moment in February of this year that I started this course, I had gone through a lot of inner child work, unleashing patterns, forgiveness of parents, and emotional releasing, energy work, and EFT, and limiting beliefs, and infusing myself with worth. And if I had done this leadership program before I did all that, I don't think that it really would have had as much impact as it did. It's because I have gone through so much of that healing of letting go and awareness of how those pain patterns have prohibited me from living my abundant life that I was born to lead. It doesn't happen accidentally. It's divine intervention. I've always believed that. Divine intervention, serendipitous, however you want to call it, coincidence, deja vu, all that stuff. It's your guides and God, your energy, your higher intelligence, whatever however you want to title that. It's all this coming from the same source. It's all oneness. It's you. It's coming from you. You're the source. You're the oneness source, as I am the oneness source. You and I are one. You and I and this phone are one. Because the space between us is tethered through energy that we cannot see. So we're literally connected in a web. So what I do affects you, and what you do affects me. And how I show up in the world is how the world unfolds for me. There's a reason why there's sayings. What goes around comes around. Karma. All these sayings are there because there's truth to them. We have all put them down to the wayside as folklore, as wives' tales, and all these things that are it's our ancestors' beliefs and truths and hard work, trials and tribulations, sweat and blood. I'm sure how many people had to die to eat these foods we now know are safe for us to eat. We're getting more and more disconnected to the truth of who we are and why we're here. We are not separate from one another. What you do does affect me, even if you live on the other side of the world. Fact. And your mind is powerful. Your body just as intelligent. And, you know, there's a guy out there named Wim Hof, that believes that we have the ability and the strength and the power as the super beings that we are to harness 100% of our brains for healing, for adaptation, for reliance, for everything. Like, there's research out there that says that there are people who are told to go work out their arms in the gym for 2 weeks, and that there are people who are told to visualize they're in the gym working out their arms for those same amount of times. And you know what? You know what I found? You know, you're not going to believe me if I tell you. But there was just as much, if not as much, result of muscle build in the people who visualized it from the people who actually were in the gym doing it. These people like Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and all these amazing athletes, they visualize and they visualize their outcome the day before of what their tournament is going to look like and what is their outcome going to be. And that's how you get in the flow. You visualize, and you visualize it as if it has already happened. And you're in that state of gratitude for accepting it. The secret left out that vital part. It's not just enough for you to visualize it. You have to feel it as if it has already come true. That's the secret right there. That's what's worth thousands of dollars just there. It's that one little thing. And one of the things that I learned in the leadership program that was different, that shifted for me, that really, because I did all this other stuff and I kept feeling like, why have I not changed? Why am I still feeling like I'm the same person? I'm still making the same choices. I'm still feeling like I'm still in that pattern and I'm still stuck. Like, what is going on? And it must have been a culmination of everything up until that moment that really had this land for me. The trainer, well-renowned trainer of trainers, master trainer of trainers, like amazing, Lisa Camlin. She said something like, and I can't really say what she said, but she said something that made me really think like, oh my gosh, I'm not really going to ever change. I'm always going to be this person. I get to choose how I'm going to show up. And I was like, 100% responsibility, level 4 responsibility is where I get to go now. And that was amazing. And that really, really just supported me in propelling my healing and being in a place of authenticity, being in a place of drive and moving forward and just going at it scared and going at it without having everything in a row. Like, there's a part of me who's an analyzer and says, I need to know everything that I got to do before I get to do it. Like, what is next? What's the next 5 steps before I get to do this one step here? And that's got me stopped. That has got me in overwhelm up until now, because I would be like, ooh, 10 steps seems so much. Like, that's a lot of work. But if I just focus on the one little thing that I have to do, like write one generator email, do one post, reach out to one, like you set a goal, right? You declare, today I'm going to reach out to 20 potential clients. Today I'm going to X, Y, and Z. And you just commit to doing it. And sometimes you're like, I declare that I will get 5 new clients by the end of the week. You declare something without proof or evidence. And you do everything in your power to align with that. All your actions align with that commitment and that declaration. And what's interesting is that it's like the heavens work and conspiring for you to help you. If you infuse that with like full on generosity by hooking up the people that you want to serve, like fully generously, without really like having it be about you, you know, then they're really like, really, we need you. We need more people like you to go out there and help save the world. Like, have you seen the news lately? You see what's going on? I don't know about you, but I got 4 emergency kits packed, one for each of us, because I don't know. Anyhow, essential oils have really helped me get there. Energy medicine totally saved my life. It's the number one thing that actually pulled me out of my depression. Energy freedom tapping. I tapped one time on guilt and shame because I was feeling at the time that I was feeling a lot of guilt and shame, not being there for my sister and protecting her when we were younger, and shame also for some of my actions. And when I was tapping through that, all of a sudden a rush of energy, you know, like it just felt like a rush of when somebody tickles your skin or when you get goosebumps, you know, and you feel the goosebumps just kind of rushing down. That's actually energy rushing down. So I felt that go all the way down my leg and out my leg. And the beautiful thing is that I don't have that pain anymore. That chronic hip pain that was just getting worse and worse and worse, where I spent days and hours stretching on a yoga roller, having my husband massage me. I even had this Death Star ball that is like softball shaped, but it's softer than a softball, and I would just put it like a trigger point on certain parts of my back because I would just, and my hip, like I would put it, and I just didn't even know where the pain was. It was just, I've had MRIs, x-rays, it's like nothing's wrong with your back, everything is fine, I don't know why you're having pain, just do what you're doing, it seems to be working. And I'm like, it's coming from somewhere, it's not in my head. But yeah, it was all in my head. It was all in a trapped emotion that I did not allow myself to process or to acknowledge. I didn't even really acknowledge that I had that much guilt still and shame that I was holding on to. And it actually manifested itself into pain. Like the power of our bodies to betray us and to heal us and to help us and to save us. You have the power. And now that you have the awareness, these are easy, safe, no side effects, unless you're on medication. I highly suggest that if you are on medication or under a doctor's care, to always consult your physician. If you're pregnant, nursing, all that stuff, got to give the disclaimers. Always, please check and make sure that you are good to go and using some, because some oils are contraindicated for specific medications, mostly people who are on blood thinners, people who are epileptic, and women who are nursing, pregnant, and even some cancer medications can be contraindicated with some oils, not all. And of course, that's why you need to go to a trusted aromatherapist who knows their thing. And you always have the resource of Google, magical Google, to go and, no affiliation, to go and get backup resources to figure out if it's safe for you to use. Anyhow, my friends, this has probably been the longest live I've ever done. And I never have anybody on here. Maybe next time I will have maybe one person. Maybe I'll invite my friends to come. I'm usually doing these very, very spontaneously. And anyhow, I wanted to share this thing. I was at this event and for Team TBG. Oh, and by the way, if you want to go to the Malibu Triathlon, it's September 30th. It is going to be amazing. And there are a lot of really great corporations that do this yearly in support of breast cancer and in support of their own employees and staff who have also been personally affected by this unfortunate disease. And I just wanted to say, my friends, please Please be curious. Be curious about your energies. Be curious about essential oils. Be curious about your next level and how you can move into your purpose, because you matter and you are worthy and you are loved. Till then, my friends, please be kind. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Please keep those energies flowing and have a beautiful day. Hasta la próxima.